do this YouTube. Tutu UK, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. We're back again. Feels like a long time. I bet it's been about another month. I had to review like what's gone on, just in terms of like events and stuff. Because the last one I did, I think, was Nottingham Video Games Expo. And I looked at my little calendar, but the trouble is I kind of erase what we've done so I can keep ahead of it. And I thought, oh, you know, I'll look at my old video because I can sort of see like where we're at next. And it said Liverpool. I'm like, Liverpool? But we haven't done anything since Nottingham. And we have. We've done, I've had to write it down again. Sheffield and Crawley. So Fob and myself, we did Sheffield. I think Crawley was very much a last minute thing. We weren't going to go to Crawley because it's Wessex way or something. I can't forget. It's down south, right? But Sheffield was kind of on the cards. But I don't know why I didn't put it in the list. I think that was one that we kind of jumped to like last minute-ish. But in terms of those two markets there, Sheffield, and I have forgotten something. God damn it. I knew I'd do this. It's just reminded me. It's all right, we're over here. And I've got some footage. Right, start again. So between Sheffield and Crawley, I didn't buy anything. I'm pretty sure I didn't buy anything. But I did kind of buy some after Sheffield. All that will become clear. But yeah, just talking around the two events very briefly for those that went. I think I only seen Peak Fighter 2 at Sheffield. I think. I don't think there's anybody else there. There was a chap at Crawley who came and said hello. And I forgot his name, but I have got a picture. Because I'm so poorly organised at the minute, it's just mental. Absolutely mental with work and life and like doing the events and stuff like that, you know. But the weird thing is, I'm sort of buying not a great deal for the collection because the stuff I need, again, I've mentioned this before, I'm kind of getting to that thin end of the wedge in terms of stuff, realistically. And the stuff that I do want is like quite expensive, yada yada yada. But yeah, I mean, between Sheffield and Crawley, two great events. Honestly, Sheffield was like, I think the guy who organised, Andy, said it was the most attended event, even beating London. It was somewhat like 2,500 people. It was like off the scale. Crawley was like mind blowing, just in terms of like, I think the amount of people that come through, the amount of vendors are there, and like just how good a day it was. So yeah, although it's like further than London, for those that don't know, if you imagine London's here, Crawley's kind of between the south coast and London-ish, I think. That's my very rough geography lesson. Yeah, and obviously, like, Fob was driving, so we had to stay out. I mean, anybody, you can't do that in a day. It would fucking kill you. It really would. But it was a good day. It was a nice event, easy enough to get into. Which is always good. Sheffield was a little bit of a ball ache, not gonna lie, in terms of getting in and setting up. Funny story about Sheffield, not that anyone's probably particularly interested in. I ain't really done much. I don't even drive right, but electric vehicles. I think Fob and myself had one electric van, and it seemed to be okay. I think it was like going. We had it for Birmingham once or whatever, but going anything longer than that, electric, no. Fucking thing, man. We had to charge it up like 3 times. It was an absolute ball ache. Electric vans and electric vehicle, anything over 40 miles, forget it. Rob will tell you this. If you ever speak to Rob, ask him about an electric van, his face will roll. Honestly, they make it out to be this, that, and the other, and it's fucking not. Quite stressful because unlike gas powered, diesel, petrol, whatever you call it, when because obviously, you know, like, again, not because I drive, but I've been in enough cars, when the empty light comes on, you know, you've probably got a couple of more miles left in the tank, barely. With electric, apparently, no, once it's gone, it's gone. And I'm convinced that this battery we had in this van was like, you know, when your phone starts to die, your phone battery, and you're like, you charge it up, it says 100%, but really it's only like 75% because it don't know what the charge capacity really is. I'm sure that battery was like that, man. The arse was falling out of it. It wasn't a pleasant it wasn't a pleasant event for that reason. But yeah, so we did it anyway. But yeah, electric vehicles, electric vans specifically, and any distance, not a great idea. But Sheffield was really busy. Again, the event, the sort of venue was really good. The loading and unloading was an absolute ball ache, not going to lie. I don't know, a lot of you guys that attend probably don't need to hear this, probably don't care, but there are people here, and I've got a few people that went to events and that stalled out watching this, and it does make a difference, you know. If you are thinking of doing that and stuff, trust me, it makes a big difference if you can unload and load without too many complications and without being such a nose. But yeah, can't speak highly enough of both of them. Really good. Again, the Andy Brown's replay event markets. You know, from a stalling out perspective, you're kind of paying a little bit of premium for the tables, but honestly, guys, they get the people through the doors, and that's all you can ask of them, right? I had seen a couple of videos, mentioned the Barnsley one. I know Pete Fighter 2 again, and Sean Retro Games Revived. I know they went kind of like, I think Sean put as much of a positive spin on it as you probably could. But £11 for an early bird ticket to then offer them 2 for 1, but not give people that had already pledged early the money back or whatever. Bad. But look, you know, you pay your money, takes your choice. So that being said, like I say, from them two markets, I didn't really buy much. There wasn't much that piqued my interest at all. From Sheffield, and Andy very kindly gave me the heads up on this one. As a company, and you've all heard of them now anyway. I mentioned to Stu Ninja Bearhug if he was interested, because I know Sheffield is kind of neck of the woods, give or take-ish. But he weren't interested. Apparently every man and his dog had already told him this. But there's a company there that done this Kickstarter, and it's basically these guys, Gamey. So what these have done is they've taken the light gun genre and kind of dragged it kicking and screaming into the now, so to speak, using AI. I'd had a quick look at it because Andy mentioned it, and I was like, that looks quite interesting. Look, everyone loves the light gun game, right? Especially from the arcades. So he said, look, I can add you to like a pre-screening kind of thing before the market opens. And I went, and he said, look, there's a little goodie bag in there for you. I hadn't even looked at this until the other day. I forgot it was there. There ain't a great deal in here. Get a nice little water mug thing. These are the guys, right? So hang on. And then a little charge bank, which I didn't even know was in there. That's really cool, right? I'll probably give that little, what do they call them, tote bags? I don't know, give that to me, one of my kids or something. They'll probably use it. But a little power bank, charge shit up. That's really useful. So what this Gamey does, what it is, it's basically they've taken the Time Crisis game or games, Point Blank. I was going to say Bullet, because Bullet is the Japanese version of it. Bullet something, but it's Point Blank, still good and still good too. So essentially, they've turned it into, I don't know, like a pie. I'm not going to say it's a pie thing, but it's a little tiny box. I did take some very quick footage because I was really strapped for time, just in terms of market. I'll splice this in now. Guys, check this out, man. Look at the size.
There's been a kidnapping. It's Rachel, the daughter of the president of Serbia.
Get a quick blast on this. Absolutely amazing bit of kit. Absolutely amazing. Get on it. Join the Kickstarter. Information down below. Arcade in a box. So as you can see, there wasn't any gameplay of me playing it. I asked the guy to film me. He weren't really comfortable doing that. So I had a quick blast on it. It works really well. But basically this was at Kickstarter. So I've kind of bought this. It's now gone live or whatever. I've never done a Kickstarter before. I think even Fob signed up for it, because Fob loves a light gun game. Who doesn't love a light gun game, right? But word on the street is this isn't the end. these games here aren't just, this is just the beginning. Because I said to Mandy, I said, if these guys, gamey, whatever, if these guys gamey can get the American, what's it called? The American Leisure, fucking hell. They made Mad Dog McCree, other games like that. And I know what it was bloody called. Anyway, if they can get them, like the license or whatever, and they can convert that, because there's never been a good Mad Dog McCree game. I'm sorry, home versions. They've all been shite. If they can get those onto there, oh my God, game changer. Andy says, watch this space. So it's when he said that, I'm like, I'm in. And I think it cost like over 100 quid, right? Which sounds a lot, it is a lot. But if you can do that, and I know there'll be some people going, oh, you can do it with this, you can do it with that. They're all shit. I'm sorry, all these other versions are shit compared to this. This is literally, you plug the fucking thing in. There's no crap around it. There's no sensor crap. It's literally, you're pointing at the screen. See, I was like probably the first in there. I hadn't even calibrated it. I just calibrated it all and off we went. I'd say very rushed, but man, it worked. It worked perfectly. Like literally like you're in the arcade, right? I mean, let's be honest, emulating Time Crisis now via MAME ain't a big deal. I'm guessing that's what they've got. They've got a version of MAME or some version running, and they're bolting on their AI funky front end to it. But it works. It works really well. And I say if they can start adding some of the light gun games, or let's be honest, someone can hack it and then you can add your own shit to it. Fucking hell, absolutely a must have. Kind of what I bought. I don't even know what you call it. I don't know if it's called the game. I don't even know what the actual thing's called. Is it just called Game, or is that the company that's called it, Gamey or whatever? But yeah, it is the light gun version of that. So looking forward to that. I think it's coming out this year. I think from what I've seen from the Kickstarter, again, I've been that busy. I've just seen it go. It was live. They're going to take the money. Yada, yada, yada. I think October time. But yeah, superb. Right. The other thing I bought, along with some other shit, great, again, not from the shows. This one, flying in the face, because I'm a fucking hypocrite. An absolute hypocrite. You all know this anyway, right? Especially some people that do like, this is modern retro and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, fuck off. I'm not watching. I'm not interested in that. Right. You can flame me. Feel free to flame me. At the Video Game Expo, there was a game that they had, because we were like near the stage bit. And they're having all these little challenges and all this kind of shit and all the talks or whatever. It's really good. And there's this one game that they kept sort of playing for people to have a go at, like not a time trial, but like a sort of high score challenge, I suppose, for a better word. And I kept saying to Rob, "So what game is that?" Because it looks like an arcade game, but it looks like an arcade game that's mixed of like 3 or 4 or 5 other different games. And he said, "I don't know." So anyway, they kept playing it, and then I asked somebody what it was called, and this chap who won, he got the high score. And he came to the stall, and I just like chatted to him, and he told me what it was called, and he said basically it's only on the Nevercade. And then he slapped him fucking sideways at that point. But he also said, he definitely said it was on the Switch, and I'm not sure if it's got to be on the PS4, PS5, I think, or it may be only on them 2 platforms, the Switch and the Nevercade. But obviously said it's on the Switch. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. So my brain being stupid, I completely forgot until a week or so late. I think it was when I was doing the video. I thought, you know what, I should go and find that game. So you can still buy it. You can still buy it from the people that make it. I think it's like about 25 quid. I think you can buy it from the store for like 2 quid, but I ain't buying digital, right? So I'm only talking physical here. And then I thought, I'll have a look on eBay. Actually, no, I nearly got to buy it from CEX. CEX were about 20 quid. Plus a couple of quid postage, so it's still cheaper than buying it officially brand new. Not bothered about brand new. So I thought, you know, I'll have a quick look on eBay, and there was one there, and it was like 22 quid. Watched it, and it was Nick Vintage Game Man. He then sent me an offer for like 17.50. I'm like, I'm having it. So the game I've got, and I have been playing it. Honestly, I'm still playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, right? But I have been having blasts at this. And you're all going to go, yeah, we know about that, Stu. You're so fucking... Because you're a fucking cunt and you don't watch anyone's current gen videos. We've all been talking about this for the last year, probably longer than that. Anyway, it's called Donut Dodo. I don't know, it's by Pixel Love. Donut Dodo, right? This is basically a love letter. It's a homage. It's Donkey Kong. It's like Bubble Bobble. It's loads of weird and wonderful single screen arcade games all mashed into one. Really good. It's got that. I'll have one more go, and you do slowly find yourself getting a little bit better each time. So yeah, that is like beat the shit out of me in the comments. I don't mind. I don't really care. But honestly, if you've got, say, oh, this come from Nick Vintage Game, I keep meaning to say to him, oh, thanks that game. I have no idea of its origins. To be honest, I haven't really done much investigative journalism. I've just played the fucking thing. But if you have got time, if you like your single screen arcade games, like it is basically like a high school challenge. I'm still trying to unlock the next set of levels. You start off at medium, so I'm getting closer and closer. But it is, I wouldn't say it's highly addictive. It can be very frustrating, but it's frustrating enough to allow you to learn, to progress. Does that make sense? You don't, if you fuck up, it's your own fault. Like I say, very akin to your Mario, your Bubble Bobbles, Rainbow Islands, them kind of sort of games. It's all your own fault. But say, everyone, a man and his dog's got to know about this, except for me and Fob, because Fob didn't know about it either. But there you go. That's my only little bit of modern. Couple of Game Gear games. This one I got, where did I get this one from? It wasn't CEX. I bought this with something else. Was it? Oh, was it a Job Lot? Might have been a Job Lot Game Gears. I think. Marbilius Madness. I like Marble Madness. I know it's not for everybody. Again, another sort of frustrating kind of game. I can't say I've ever played the arcade one with the rollerball or the trackball, whatever you want to call it. But the later ones, you know, the Master System, Mega Drive and stuff like that, I quite like that. I do like Marble Madness. This one was from CEX. Again, I think I lobbed in some controllers. I can't remember now. Basically, this is Master of Darkness, which has got a probably better cover on it, I think, than the Master System version. Kind of Castlevania-esque, I suppose. Send me 40 quid-ish job. Marble Madness is about £3. The problem, I'm going to mention before, when you buy stuff like that off CEX, is you're paying the postage again. So I'm kind of a bit reluctant to do that. I don't think I got that from a market. I had been looking out for it at a market. I've got a feeling I bought a Job Lot of Game Gear with something else, and that was the only one I needed. I think that's where it's come from. More Job Lots. Some Wii and Wii U. Been a bit of a spate of Wii U videos. I think sort of driven by James, Retro Import Gamer, Pete's Nestastic. Can't remember. Maybe somebody else was on about Wii U. And I'd had these on the shelf, and I was, funny enough, it was like, oh, that's weird, because I had a bundle, and I just sort of kept. The problem I've got is all my Wii U stuff's in. I'm pointing that way because the garage is that way. It's all in boxes because obviously I took it all off the shelves to make space. So I kind of know, but I don't know exactly what I have and haven't got. So, and these ain't very expensive. So you know, I just keep them. And if it turns out when I get into there and I've got them there and whatever, they might be worth they might be worth £5 at that point. But this is a Wii title. Again, I can't say if I've got it or not. And I can't remember. Someone actually said this is not a bad game. Excite Truck. Long time since I've had a Wii game. I can't remember who was on about it. But someone definitely said, was it Carl Woodlin? Someone said Excite Truck's quite a nice condition. Again, I think this come in a Wii bundle. Not going to lie. I definitely didn't buy it as in like, oh, I'm going to buy Excite Truck. These are all, oh, what's that from Charity Shop? because these were from charity shop. That might be from charity shop as well. This one I definitely know I didn't have on Wii U. Right, these are all Wii U now. These are from charity shop. This one I definitely know I didn't have because I ummed and ahed about getting it first come out and I didn't bother. It's Paper Mario Color Splash. Paper Mario World, you know, that sort of RPG type game. I liked the Paper Mario. I enjoy playing that. I think a lot of these Wii U titles didn't really come with manuals per se, from recollection. And these, like I say, all of these are quite nice condition. And we've got a slew of Lego titles. I don't going to spend too long on these. Avengers. Again, I wouldn't have bought this on release. The only Lego game I got was Lego City. These are the Lego titles. If I have got them, they wouldn't have been purchased on launch. Lego Marvels, Batman 3, and Star Wars The Force Awakens. Again, they ain't much value. They're probably a couple of quid each. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit more. So hence why when I said, you know, if it turns out I've already got these, by the time I get into then decide to add these, they might be worth 4 quid rather than the 2 quid they are now. I don't know. I'm not putting too much whatever on it. They're just, you know, they ain't cost me a great deal. They can sit there and on the shelf until such time as I manage to get in there and have a look. So I think the last vid, we had, well, it was a very long video, so thank you for anybody that was watching. I don't know, no one asked you to watch it and stuff, and, you know, there's a lot of people that sort of get really arsey and angsty when they put a lot of effort into videos and no one watches and all that kind of stuff. I've never been that way. Never been that way. Weirdly enough, not weirdly enough at all, but coincidentally enough, I'd watched Ross's video, Bahaha, Bwahaha. And obviously he had an email to sort of say he'd been on like 10 years. 10 years. And to be honest, I thought he ain't been on 10 years. But he has been on 10 years. He has, fair play to him. Obviously, he's you know, he's kept himself true to himself. And I said that to him. It's nice to see that. I think I've been on 14 years. I think, again, it must have been a thing they were doing. They sent me out one, whenever it was, 14 years. But I don't think I started making videos until the second year. I can't remember. I can't remember where I was going with that now. I can't remember now. But anyway, go and watch Ross's video. Yeah, that's the point. Because obviously he was very humble, very self-deprecating, which I think some of us are on here. And I quite like people that are like that. I don't like arrogant dickheads, if that makes sense. Which are kind of a lot of the grifters fall into, or they get into that sob story. I just want real people, right? And I always gravitate towards those channels. It's just how I am, right? I don't like over-edited. I don't like things that are over-edited because I feel that people, and I've seen it over the years, people then feel that there's an obligation from you to watch it, and they get the hump when it doesn't happen, and it's just not very nice to sort of see. Again, that sort of egotistical side of things come out. I don't really like it. I just like people being normal. And like Ross said, if you watch it, you watch it. If you don't, you don't. And he makes the videos that he wants to make. Doesn't fucking hop onto the latest curve. Oh, look, Metal Gear's out. I'll make a Metal Gear video. You know, none of that shit. He just makes the videos he wants to make. And I like that. You know, and I respect people for doing that. And they just keep it real. And I like that. Anyway, right. So, that being said, on my last vid, I still did say I had a load of PC Engine titles left over. Not left over, because that sounds like I just tossed them to one side. But I sort of ran out of time, I suppose, because it was a long vid anyway. So I've got some of them to show. There's a little bit of news around. Not really news at all. It's not news because I've already told you. But some else that I bought. And then a couple of magazines. So we're doing the magazines actually. So I've got a little update for that. So, not for everybody, get you, understand. But for me, magazines, and I've mentioned this numerous times, were kind of like the stalwart of video game playing, because we weren't collecting back in the day, we were playing, right? That's where you got your news. That's where you're seeing the latest and the greatest and the big and the flash that was coming out. So they always have that nostalgia pull, same as like the games would do in themselves. The two are intertwined. There's no ifs buts about it. So a lot of the stuff that I'd sort of was committed to, I suppose, back in the day, I've kind of nearly got. Games X was the only fortnightly magazine. I think it only managed to last 2 years. I'm missing one. I'll hunt that down, right? I've got all the super plays. That was stone cold the best magazine, Barnon. I've got all of the meme machines, not the Sega ones, or then went to Nintendo magazine system, just the meme machines ones. I've got those. Again, fucking fantastic magazine that was birthed by the daddy of all, right? The longest running, I think, in the world video game magazine, the mighty Computer and Video Games, right? This, so many memories. Obviously, not the earlier stuff because I was only a nipper, so to speak, even back then. But you know, when it got to that sort of age where you had a little bit of pocket money and stuff, mine all went on magazines. It really did. So that being said, I'm currently missing 5 magazines from the whole CVG run from 1982 up until 2004. Only missing 5. I think there's two upgrades that I probably need. But again, I'm in no massive rush. I quite like just the thrill of the hunt. All right. So these are the three editions. February 83, February 1983. I bet some of you weren't even born then. I was like 6. No, when I was 7. I was 7. 7 at that point. I didn't know diddly squat. March 89. Blastoids. I remember Alex Nintendo Arcade showing the arcade machine off of that. I can't say I ever played it in the arcades. I remember it on the being knocking about on the Amiga, and people making a big deal of it. But yeah, win an ST. Get the fuck out of here! Where's the Amiga? But yeah, bumper Sega special, R-Type, Rastan, Rampage. Reviewed Dragon's Lair, Battlehawks, Weklemans, Manhunter, and Dragon Ninja. Dragon Ninja in the arcades, fucking immense. And then sort of slightly later on, again, I'm not going to bore you. This is May '97, right? So May 1997, Soul Blade on the play. I'm assuming it's the PlayStation, not the Dreamcast. Nintendo 64, latest games in detail. Massive arcade show report. Oh, I loved it when they went to the arcades. E3 and stuff like that. There must have been an arcade show. House of the Dead, Vampire Savior, Craig's here again. That's his pervy thing. Armadillo Racers by Namco. That is in the arcade. I bet that never got a home release. Someone tell me otherwise. I don't. You know what? Never even heard of it. Can't remember seeing it. Yeah, but I say 1997. 1997. But anyway, those are three additions to the magazine collection, to the old dusty paper. 5 left to get. I actually thought, right, because when I sort of sorted all mine out and put them into boxes and carded and bagged them, mine stopped at like October 2004, and I thought I'd just stop buying it. I actually said to Mark Jowett, Sega Mags, I said, "Oh, I only bought up to October 2004." So I sort of, in my head, I gave myself a cut-off point at that foot because I didn't buy anything else afterwards. That's it. But it turns out that was the last magazine. Unbeknownst to me, I'd actually bought the last one, and obviously that was it. It was done for them, and it went digital after that. Anyway, half an hour, right? From a job lot of SNES stuff that I'm still kind of working on. I have got some games, again, nothing spectacular, but this was in that lot. I'm keeping this, clearly, that's why I'm showing it. There were a couple of games I'm keeping, but they'll come later because I'm like I say, I'm still fettling the boxes a little bit. But this one I do have, but this is a variant, and I thought, just keep it, why not? And I love these. I love these back in the day. I know they're not for everybody. I mainly consume this on the Super Nintendo, to be fair. They come out across multiple systems, but I always remember them on the SNES. I loved tinkering and pissing about with this. It's a Pro Action Replay by Daytal. Fantastic little bits of kit. I mean, they can just do weird and wonderful, completely fucking screw the game up half the time. But, you know, again, I remember, I mentioned this before, I'm convinced I wrote to a magazine and I gave them cannon fodder codes and stuff like that. And it got printed. I can't find it for love nor money. But I have got one of these, but this is a different spine. The one I've got, I can look at it. I should have brought it over. Mine's a black spine, and I think the cover's slightly different. And I did think it was like, this one might have been the Super FX one, but they're both the same. They've both got the Super FX booklet. So I thought, oh, maybe that's the difference, but it's not. It might be that on the actual cart there's a different firmware, but you know what I say, it don't owe me a great deal, and it just looks fucking cool as hell. But I love tinkering with these things because I'm not very good at games, right? I'm shit. I'm terrible at games. So I always like the fact that if a game was balls hard, and they usually were back then, especially if you crap at them like me, it can give your game a new lease of life, so to speak. You know, you can make you go back and enjoy it, and experience the bits that you couldn't get to. And I think there's some value in that. Side point, because I like going on tangents. I used to play World of Warcraft a lot back in the day, like a lot. And I remember there was like a post, probably from a patch or something like that, and it was to do with the people that developed it and made and built, i.e. Blizzard, that did Warcraft. And obviously they ran some stats and stuff, and what they found out was like 75% of the people that played the game never got to experience like the other 75% of the game, because they were locked out of it from like doing raids and stuff like that, because it was so difficult. So they'd made all this content that only like 25% of the people playing it could ever see. And so they did, I can't remember what they did. They made things slightly easier, and it pissed a lot of people off. But I can sort of see that point of view. You know, if you're making a game and like no one's got to see all the good shit, it must be like a bit like, oh. So anyway, I just like these things. I really do. I just think that they're great. They're sort of, you can piss about with them. You can do all weird and wonderful things. But a lot of it is just like invincibilities. Back in the Amiga days, like the trainers used to come out the front. They were fucking fantastic. You know, the music and stuff like that. And I know that Judge Drocky was part of that scene. All the hackers and stuff. I loved all them. The little trains at the front. Because you could just enjoy the game. You could just enjoy playing the game, you know. Anyway, that being said, PC Engine. The mighty PC Engine. As you can see here. PC Engine. Oh, not that he probably watches. I've still got my sign up. Mike and Jen. Right. So, I have got... These were off Steve Bailey. Steve Bailey's a chap in Japan, our man in Japan, so to speak, the old saying. Got his Facebook page. He's on eBay. Facebook, you tend to get a bit of a better deal. Plus, you see stuff really early. You can nab it. Can't really fault the guy's prices, his postage and stuff like that. You know, he's sound. Doubt of him for a couple of years now. I know that Cliff at Tea and Crumpets, he always advocates for Steve, and I would echo those sentiments. Obviously, what he's picking up and showing, it just varies. Megadrive, PC Engine, Sega Saturn, PlayStation. You know, it's a bit of everything. So there's certain things that obviously I'm just not really interested. Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, and stuff like that. But he gets PC Engine. I'll take that. So case in point is Valis 2. So we bagged that off Steve. Valis 2. I think it's Valis 1 I'm needing now. And I think Valis 1 is the most expensive one, I think. I also think that Valis 1 is a Super CD. Something in my head says that they went backwards in terms of like the media, but I can't remember now. I have been drinking. I can't remember what this one's called now. Okay, this is on the spine. Craig's here again will probably go, it's a terrible game. Terrible games too. This is Legion by Reno on the PC Engine. Again, it weren't very expensive. I think it's probably a step up from that shooter that I mentioned last week, which was, I think if you haven't seen it, was like an Amiga Amos fucking shooter, very Billy Basic. I think this is a slight step up. This is Legion. Again, you can just about make the writing out. It's like terrible font. And it's actually on the front there as well. But terrible. But if you look really closely on the spine, it just say Legion. It's there. But again, I mentioned before, I don't have a great deal of CD-ROM games. I'm actually trying to build that sort of side sub-collection up. Because predominantly, the PC Engine is always known as a hue card. One for the Super Graphics collection. This is Battle Ace, probably the weaker of the selection from the Super Graphics. Now, for those that don't know, and you probably do know, that's upside down. The Super Graphics was a system in and of itself. The Super Graphics games only play on the Super Graphics. Back in the day, obviously now you've got the analog version of the machine that will play them all, but historically they'd only play in the Super Graphics. This one is kind of like an on-rails shooter. Some people, I think, give it a bad press. I can't say because I haven't played it, but other people sort of say, no, actually it's not as bad as it looks. It doesn't look fantastic. I think that's probably its downfall. But the one I am missing, and the big hitter, is 1943. I can't remember, maybe it's 1943 or whatever. It's the 1940s shooter. Then I think I have them all. I think. So again, like, it's that kind of stuff, right? That if I go to a show, that's what I'll be looking at. Yeah, not cheap, but this is the way. This is the way. This is the way. This is where I'm at. This is, this is the game. This is the fucking the thrill of the chase, the thrill of the hunt. Who are you calling the hunt? Right. Going back, I've had these on the shelf fucking ages. I can't remember which show it was. It's probably last year now. I've done all right. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to treat myself. Treat yourself, Stu. And there was a guy who had a slew of PC Engine games that I was like, oh, I need that. So I did send him a message. I said, look, I'm interested in these three. If I send you offers. And we worked it out that way. Yeah, it wasn't like fucking 50% off. Nothing daft like that. He'd probably give me like 20 quid off each one, something. Because they stick them all in the same thing. Because he's in the UK as well, obviously no import tax and all that kind of shizzle. Plus he'd always put them in these little protectors, which kind of set me off a little bit, but it hasn't. I've kind of resisted. But three not very cheap games, and I'm going to forget them all now because it's been that long. I can kind of guess most of them. This one is Alice in Wonderland, although it's not called Alice in Wonderland, it's called Alice in something. But it's basically Alice in Wonderland platformer. There's no point showing you because these are all shoe cards. But yeah, it's an Alice in Wonderland side-scrolling platformer. Again, pretty highly regarded in that sense. I haven't played it, and I know people get really pissed off because I do fall into that category where I feel like I'm waving a cock, but I ain't telling you prices. I ain't, saying, oh, I paid this much for this, because I can't remember. Like, they weren't cheap, right? So I'm not lying to you. You can go and check these. They're not cheap. They're probably cheaper now than they were when I bought it. But it's ain't about that. I don't monetize. I haven't got a stupid membership. I haven't got a fucking stupid gang that you can join. I don't try and sell you t-shirts. I don't do fuck all like that, right? It's literally just me collecting shit and trying to talk about it. and hopefully might engage a few people, and some people might find it interesting. Outside of that, I couldn't give two fucks. But I do get it. Like, there's idiots like me that are just buying this stuff and not even playing it. What can I say? The worst is I sell it all and just go on another drive. Yeah, I could do that. No fun in that though, is there? Because you don't see anything. You don't, you know, there's no, I don't know, tangible item. But anyway, I'm on a fucking topic now. Anyway, the other one I got, again, the same guy, bundle deal, Hue card, is Raiden. I can't remember what version of Raiden it is. I do have the disc-based version. I think I've got the disc-based version of this. I think the Hue card version is more expensive than the disc-based version. I can't say if they're the same games, but Raiden's a good game. Raiden is the kind of shoot I probably like. I don't like bullet. I've not really experienced enough bullet hell to sort of say I don't like them, but I've played enough of them to sort of think this is too crazy for me. I do kind of like the slower paced versions, but I have played a couple that are like, I don't know if you'd say that they were bullet hells, but they get a little bit more crazy, you know, and I don't mind that. But when you see some of these later ones, Espagluda, I can't remember what it was. I think I've seen a few people play them. The 360 shooters onwards. It's just fucking madness. The thing is, they look really nice, but I'm thinking if you're playing that game, you're not even taking any notice of what it looks or sounds like, because you kind of like laser focus on what's going on. So it's like, oh, you're kind of missing a bit of it unless you're sat there watching someone play it. That's how I look at it anyway. But anyway, I digress. Raiden, arcade shooter, attainable enough, allows you to enjoy the game, I suppose. This one I have been after for a while. I think it was this one that drew me into the guy's listings. I tried to buy this a few times. I bought it off Alan, Scottish Japanese Alan, and he sent me Big Nose Goblin, Long Nose Goblin, which I'd already had. And he did say to me, he said, "Oh, I'm sorry." He goes, because he listed it as that, and I said, "I'll have that." And then he sent me that one. I said, "This is not the same game, Al." He was like, "I'm sorry, because the covers do look similar and I get confused." And I can kind of get it. They are very similar games. This one is significantly more expensive. This is the Taito game, which is Liquid Kids. Again, this is an arcade game. Cutesy, side-scrolling platformer. Think kind of like Bubble Bobble with the blue, with the water, and you can... It's that kind of vibe, but really unique. I don't think Liquid Kids came out on anything else. Again, nerds. Well, actually, Stuart, it came out on the FM Towns Marty. Whatever, dude. Fucking, if that makes you feel happy, then go. You have at it. You have at it. But I don't think, look, from my very meager knowledge base, I don't recall it being on everything. Right, let's put it that way. Definitely an arcade game. Right, the last thing. So I told you, Daz, my good mate Daz McCowan, he's hung his storing out boots up now. I broke him. He's not interested. So Daz is no longer going to be at markets with his wonderfully alphabetical size. Say that after a couple of points. His games. But obviously he had stuff left over. And he jokingly did say to Fob myself, "Anybody want all this stuff? Chuck me an offer." And I just thought he was jesting. Honestly, I really did. And it turns out he wasn't. So a couple of months or whatever went by, and I reached out to him and I sort of said, "Look," I was after something else that he mentioned that he had. So I was like, "Okay, like, have you still got these?" And then he was mentioning the other stuff. So we ended up doing a deal. Basically, I bought all the rest of his shit. He won't mind me calling it shit. So I bought the rest of his shit. But within that shit, there is some gold that I don't have. So, as I've always said, I like buying... I'm not adverse to buying a bulk lot of stuff if there's something I can keep out of it. I don't know why. It's the magpie hoarder in me that kind of like wants to keep a little bit of something all the time. So that's what we did. And there are some bits I'm going to keep. I haven't gone through it all yet, but I have gone through the Atari stuff. And there was a lot of Atari that I didn't have. Some of it was like condition improvement and stuff. So again, I've gone through all of that and sort of improved my improve my copies. But I have got fucking Stu, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? I have got a pile, and there is a pile, it's a stack. I'm not gonna dwell too long on this because this is slowly descending into fucking utter chaos. 2600 games. Super Football. Again, these ain't like, and no disrespect, they ain't gonna set the world alight. They're no like hero or anything like that. Super Football, but ones I didn't have, and I'm like, you know what, I ain't got them, I'm keeping them. International Soccer. This hasn't got a screenshot. The old telly games were like kind of later releases. Telly games, you know, they were really clever because they bought up a lot of old stock from a lot of companies back in the day. They still were going on the PlayStation, and they had some like quite expensive titles on that, like Soccer Kid and stuff. This one always intrigued me. I don't know why. It's probably a load of old shite. But Surround. I always think it's like an audio thing, but I don't think it is. It's like maybe like a snake game. So Surround, we don't have that. Real Sports Soccer actually does have moving soccer people, which is the Real Sports ones. There's quite a few of them. Real Sports Volleyball, Real Sports blah 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 blah. Real Sports Football, like American football. Sorry, American cousins. One that I did have, actually, my copy was better, but it's missing the, well, say my copy. My copy that has been set up there waiting for a set of instructions was actually better than the one that Dad had. So, Video Checkers. It's a thing. Really is a thing. Video Chess. One I thought I had, but clearly didn't. Quite nice purple box. Armour Ambush. This is these USA telly games. This is how they all come. They just change that and change that, which I think I don't really not a fan of that. I kind of like lacks a little bit of creativity and distinction. So, a couple here. One of these I could have sworn I had. Honestly, I could have sworn I had it. These aren't these. James Retro Input Game would appreciate these. Although I'm not sure about this one first. Activision Skiing. I mean, he swears down by Activision on the Atari. I would tend to agree with him. I mentioned that before. Likewise, Sky Jinx. Again, I can't speak to it. Flying game, maybe, perhaps. Sky Jinx. A nice CBS one. I think I need to do something with that because that sounds like it's rocking and roping around the place. Actually looks quite a detailed game for the Atari. I think this was an arcade game. I don't know why. Something in the back of my head is telling me this was an arcade game. CBS were quite good at doing the arcade ports. And this is the one I thought, when I was going through it, I thought, oh yeah, I've got that. And then obviously I sorted them all out and then sort of checking quality. I thought, I don't have it. I don't know what. I think it's because I've got the 7800 version and not the 2600 version. It's Atari Warriors. Obviously in the arcades, right, this had the rotary sticks. Not the 2600 version, but Atari Warriors as we know it. And that's what really made it unique. Along with Midnight Resistance and stuff like that. Absolutely iconic. With those rotary joysticks. Little stubby yellow ones with a twin top. Oh, honestly, if you've never played either Midnight Resistance or Ikari Warriors. I can't think of them off the top of my head, many other games that use the rotary tops. Changes the games, completely changes the games. But again, like Ikari Warriors, like, you know what Ikari Warriors, up the screen, run up, shoot, Commando-esque type game, but didn't have it. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. That is 15 minutes. That is long enough. So thanks for watching. We will be at Liverpool on the 14th of September. I'll put the dates in the doobie down below. Thick and fast now. Once this gets uploaded, when I can be asked, which will probably push us into September. Then it's September, October, November, and then we're kind of done. 3 months blitz, and then we're kind of done. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what we're going to find? I don't know. But look, listen, take it easy, YouTube. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.